right, y'all, so today's video that we are going to watch, this actually took me in for a surprise. Chris Cuomo, he pretty much called Donald Trump and he publicly apologized. So this actually makes me feel good, mainly because I think with modern day politics, it's just like everyone arguing, everyone going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So to see the clip of him apologizing, I was like, okay, let me watch the whole video and see, like, was it an actual apology or, you know, an underhand apology? So we're gonna watch this clip and then we're going to see, and then we're gonna further discuss. But yeah, this does excite me because I'm like, at some point, someone has to be mature and just like, we all come together, despite what we may personally feel about the other side or the other person or whoever the case may be. But yeah, let's begin.
Trump blames the Democrats and their attacks on him as a threat to democracy for the violence directed toward him. He then says that they are the real threats to democracy. So if it's wrong that they're threatening him that way by calling him that, why would he call them that? We need better.
Because it's on both sides.
And I keep seeing use of the word hate everywhere in our politics. Trump hates Taylor Swift. Democrats hate him, want him eliminated. So, here's what I did. I didn't know what to say. I kept going through drafts, and I just wasn't getting anywhere. It wasn't even landing right with me. So I called former President Trump. And I didn't ask him any questions. I didn't go after him about his role. I just wanted to know how his family's taking this. Because I grew up like that. I grew up worried about who was going to try to hurt my father. And I told you a story last week that I remember this day. I was 7, 8 years old, okay? And I remember him jumping off that stage in some ugly houndstooth blazer and running up the front of an auditorium because someone had thrown a pie at a coconut shell at Abe Beam, who was mayor, and Bella Abzug, who was running for mayor. She used to wear these big, beautiful hats. And my father's on the stage with them in this mayoral debate or discussion, whatever. He got killed. He lost so many elections before he won one. And the guy throws the thing, and my father jumps off the stage and goes running up, throws him on the ground, holds him down. And I was so scared. And you can think what you want about Trump. He does not have many more full-throated critics of what he says and does than me, okay? And yet I called him today because I am ashamed of how we are responding and not responding to the threats on him.
I agree with that part, like especially with like emphasis on how we're not responding. Like to this day, there has been 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump that we know of, and the fact that he still hasn't gotten approved of more security, the fact that he's still he keeps going, I'm just like, wow. It's like, say what you want about him, but at a certain point you have to have like a level of humanity. Like, okay, I know I disagree with his politics, but just the principle of the matter. Because it could be Donald Trump today and a different person the next day. Like, that's the whole point that a lot of people are like making. It's just like, it is ridiculous. And I'm not saying Donald Trump is innocent, because Donald Trump is far from innocent. Donald Trump does use rhetoric. He does use divisive language. He does use words that I personally would not use. The same thing with the left. I just think we're just at the point where like both of them just needs to keep it at policy. Keep it at policy, because everything that's just people, I don't think they understand the impact of the words, because there are people out there that aren't right in the head and they will take your words literal. Not necessarily the fault of the person who says the words. It's just that the person who's speaking should be more cautious. But yeah.
And I feel for his family. And I know you can roll your eyes and say, oh yeah, he asked for it. Listen, that's your choice, and I think it's a wrong choice, okay? We gotta get out of the judgment business unless it's judging ourselves. And you gotta start rewarding things that are better. And I gotta tell you, I don't know how he stays in the race.
Same.
I don't know how he got up after being shot in the head. And you people who
I'm not gonna hold you,
that,
same.
you need to check yourself. He gets up, pumping his fist, stays in the race, barely even talks about it. Now look, I do believe he has wasted opportunities, and he has another one now. Who better than Trump to say, we can do better? I can do better. I know he keeps doubling down on his angry rhetoric. How can he not? It keeps working for him. I don't know that it gets him elected. My theory is that he needs to expand. He had a chance to do it after he was the target of an assassin.
I agree with Chris Cuomo on that. I think there's no one better that can actually, I would even say, it's not necessarily like bringing the country together, but like someone like Trump, I don't think he understands like how powerful his voice is. Like there's no one better in a position right now that can really be like, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I'm looking back on the things I might have said and might have done, but right here it stops now. I don't want this campaign to continue on to be divisive. I don't want this campaign to tear the American people apart. I think that's where Chris Cuomo is going at, and I actually agree with it, because it's just like all that Donald Trump has went through, like the 2 assassination attempts, the legal cases, the like, just it's almost like the world is against him. The fact that he is still up and running, like we have to understand we're humans before any and anything. Like I know it's hard for some people to humanize him, but he's still a father, he's still a grandfather. There's still people who are attached to him that are probably having to live with repercussions based off of his choices just over the mere fact that they're attached to him. But I truly believe like we have to honestly get to the point where it's just like enough is enough. We can't just continue to point the finger at what the next person should be doing better, but we have to look at ourselves as well.
It's a nation. At the RNC, he had a chance to say, I know what got me here. It's not going to get me where I want us to be. He did not take that chance. He now has another chance. Oh, you're supporting Trump. I'm supporting us. The idea that I am a Trump supporter is laughable to the man on your screen right now. That is not what this is. I am worried about us. I am ashamed of what's happening around us right now.
Yeah.
And the relative lack of concern about it. I just don't see how we get anywhere better than where we are right now. Look, I'm not blaming Democrats. I'm really not. I blame the guy. And whatever disease he has that the people around him either knew about and did nothing about. The guy was arrested 20 years ago for barricading himself in a room with all these weapons. Where are we caring about one another? Where are we taking care of our own? Where are we pushing to get help? We're leaving people languishing, dying on the streets. What is going on with us?
I'm gonna stop it there because like he makes a he makes valid points, because it's just like it's like at what point, I think because we're so content with chaos, like we try so hard to normalize like things that should not be normalized. Like people in the comment zone said, I want leaders who care less about our government and more about our people. Amen. Someone said, I'm switching my vote to Trump. I now have realized where the division in our society is coming from, the corporate media. A lot of what is said about Trump isn't even true. Okay. Someone said, Chris, that is the best speech I've ever heard from you, all in your years of journalism. Every American needs to hear this. Our political differences should never get in the way of our love for this country we call home and the great people we share with it. And they said more, but it's a whole biography. But honestly, I agree. Like, I genuinely agree. I think we've gone to the point where we're like each other's enemies. It's just like, bro, we're part of the same team here. If it was a team, like we're not supposed to be each other's enemies, and it's so like draining. Like I don't think, maybe it's just me, but I'm just like, yo, this is mentally draining, and that is an understatement. We just can't. We can't. There's no sustainability in the way that we're moving right now. There's no longevity in it. Like it's only a matter of time before we fall as a nation by the path that we're going right now, and that's not even me being dramatic. That's the God honest truth. Like the way that we are moving right now, it's only a matter of time before we fall. And I'm not wishing bad on none of us, but it's just like, it's a reality we have to face. We have to get it together, literally. I want to know your thoughts on the comments down below. How do you feel about just everything that's going on? Do you think that America's more divided than ever, or do you think it's just like social media that kind of like puts it in our faces that America has always been this way? And how do you feel about Chris Cuomo and what I feel like was an adult move by calling Donald Trump and doing his public apology? I just think that was beautiful. But yeah, how do you feel? Make sure you comment down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media. We are on the road to 25K. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Udoak, connecting people with policy. Toodles.